They make big decisions like without taking a beat. I remember it wasn't long ago. I was it was a different context. I want to get into that context, but someone I knew was like they took their car in for like a service. It was like oil change or something pretty minimal, and they came out with like a new car. And I was like, "What now? Like how did that how did that happen?" Because there's not a single chance in the world that I'm going to go in for an oil change and walk away with a new car. Not a single effing chance. Like, what happened? How did that go? Like,
I love that. I have to say that that's something that could happen to me.
no, no way.
No way. I love that. I mean, so a lot of times I get it. You got to think things through. You have to weigh options. You got to weigh it out. Like, does this make sense? And maybe make a spreadsheet and a graph and like really figure out if this makes the
I
most
did
sense
have some
for Rich.
car work done last year that was like about 15% of the cost of a new car. And I was like, you know what? I could just like,
Right.
but I wasn't close to making that decision. But I was like, dang, that's an expensive service. But it was like long term anyway. But it was just like
That's so
that's
funny.
10%,
That's
15% towards a new car.
that's so far out of your comfort zone. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm, in I don't think I'm impulsive, but I think my husband would say I am. I mean, just moving up here, right? Uprooting my whole life from Queens and moving to upstate New York. But I go and don't be shocked. I go on my gut. I go on how my heart feels. And my heart is what steers me because I feel like if I'm not happy, then why would I stay in a situation where I'm not happy? If my heart hurts or my heart's like, this isn't for me, I'm going to listen to it. I actually am because at the end of the day, I don't want the extra stress. I don't want the pain, right? I'm looking for comfort. I'm looking for happiness. I'm looking for friendship. I'm looking for joy. I'm looking to, want to celebrate life as much as possible and not have adversity. So it's okay to do that. For me, I think it's okay to seek out happiness on a daily basis. And it's like, oh, that didn't bring me happiness. I won't do that again. Or that life is going in a direction I don't want it to go in. It started to feel really stressful in the city, and the city's dirty. And there was so many people I couldn't connect to, and so much bad energy that I was, as an empath, absorbing. I was just surrounded by things I couldn't really weather. And some people can turn that off and like just go through, the busyness of the city and not have an issue. But I need to be in green grass. I need to be grounding. I need to be near my creek, my overflowing creek, near water, have the energy flowing and moving around me. And that is the introvert part of me that then heals in that environment. But I get my energy from going and connecting to people. So once I feel full, I'm happy on my farm, then I can go find people. Hey, you want to be my friend?
Yeah, my Brazilian dad doctor
Yep.
and his insatiable thirst for medical knowledge.
I mean, but if he has it to share it in that environment, I was thinking too, which I didn't say, but like that's the perfect environment for him to talk to people later in life, like how to stay healthy. That's such a beautiful contribution he made to his community. Like that's really awesome. It also shows a very strong character as well. Like he can be smart, but also, he cares about the people around him and will help them if he can. So I love that. That is what spoke to
He's a
me.
smooth operator too, man. Like the first 2 minutes, he was just kind of smooth talking, thanking the people. Like he was running the show. It was so cool. And I was thinking because I've told you before, like kind of socially have evolved, right? I was very shy, and I've gotten better and better and better. So like by the time I'm 80, like I'm just gonna be like up in front of a crowd, be like,
Oh
"Thank you
yeah,
so much,
you.
Melissa, for introducing me," and like, whatever.
Melissa. Oh, oh. She's going to be our MC at some point. No, that's amazing. And probably you guys are very similar. Probably there's a lot
Yeah,
of,
he's definitely an introvert too. Yeah.
yeah, but probably you could get up and you can have a talk like that as well, just like he did. And you're probably very similar in that way. So that's awesome.
You don't like
It's
the Myers
wacky.
Briggs type deals and stuff like that.
No, I haven't, but I do consider myself to be an introvert, but I
So
do get
weird
my
because you're so
energy. I
talkative
know. I
around
get
people.
I get my energy from, but it's how I create safety. So if we're like talking about ourselves, so I was bullied, and anyone that's being bullied or was bullied, like, it's awful. I'm with you. I feel you. And it's the worst existence ever to just try in your most formative years to get ahead or just go to friggin' school or just like, you just don't want this today and just be just destroyed emotionally every day. And in some cases, physically every day. I get it. So I was bullied. So I built this defense mechanism, which if I go to these people and I am friendly and I can provide some kind of value to them or I can make them like me, they can't bully me anymore. So it was a survival mechanism that I just sort of kept and liked. It's like I go out of my way to make everyone want to be friendly towards me so that I know that I'm safe. It's literally a very selfish mechanism, and I
Interesting.
identify my psychology. Yeah, but I want you to be my friend and I want you to like me, so there's no chance that you can hurt me. The issue with that is when relationships do break down, because they do, or there's challenges, I am very, very, very hurt because I have put even more effort than the other person realizes into building a relationship where I can't be hurt in this relationship. I feel safe now coming out and being fully myself so that when it breaks down or if it breaks down, it's really, really bad for me and really hard for me because that little girl that was bullied, there she is again. And, but I literally think I've created this, mostly out of safety. And I say that I want to create a tribe of people around me that feel the same way, that just want to be accepted, loved, nurtured, positive relationships, supported. That's why coaching was perfect for me. And I am inside of this hug of people around me that I'm safe in. I'm just creating safety. And I think it's a very relatable concept for a lot of people.
I think in our other recording, I think I was saying something about how, like, part of I'm a little bit more overtly strategic, I think, in most things in life than maybe you are. But like I said, something along the lines of I like to get ahead of the curve or anticipate that thing that could be a problem. And you're almost saying I talk a lot to people or I connect with them so that I can almost like
Same thing.
prevent them being mean to me. Or like, because if we're
But it's the
friends, then
same.
they're not going to be mean or something along those lines.
Correct. But I'm also hardwired for caution. So I did the strength finders. Oh my gosh, do strength finders. Oh my gosh, we should do it again. And it tells you like your profile, like what type of personality you have. And mine was so stupid spot on. It was better than the disc. It was better than Keller Williams KPA strength finders. I did it with my whole leadership team in the Jackson Heights office, and I discovered that I'm hardwired for caution. It's not that I'm negative. I'm going to always look for what can go wrong. So I have that inherently. And I'm trying to avoid pain and I'm trying to avoid myself being bullied today. So it's like layers and layers deep in my whole psyche of like, I need to find if there's any pitfalls. So I go out of my way to build bridges. I go out of my way to build an environment where I'm like in a padded room. Literally, that might be a visual. But I try to pad my life where there's no way there's going to be any harm that comes to my little heart. We almost put the box around other people, even people that we love. So it's like breaking that down and letting people be who they are and giving them an opportunity to change. I think it's also why marriages break down. And I say this to my husband all the time, like, I just need you to know that I'm changing. I'm evolving, I'm changing, I'm on this journey, and I need you to know that I'm going through this. I literally check in with him, and he's like, oh, good, I am too. And sometimes we're actually on the same journey of conspiracy theories. I'm kidding.
Yeah, well,
But
but
let
that's an
people,
incredibly healthy thing to
yeah, you have
for
to
yeah.
let people change. You have to let them be different than who you think that they are. I love that so much because also we don't do well with change. People don't do well with change as well, and we're constantly changing, but we want things to stay the way we have them, and we fix our lives, and you make your bed and you pick out your colors, and you wear a certain type of clothes. Like, we stay in our boxes and we stay in our routines, and we're very regimented that way. Even if we're messy, that's also a pattern. But it's okay to break your pattern. Break your pattern. Let's break our patterns. Let's make a homework assignment. Leave a comment wherever you can find us. What are your patterns that you're looking to break? Yeah.
Yeah, perception and yeah, our expectations and perception of others is interesting.
Yeah, and
And
we
once
use
they're
that as a
set, they're hard to change, right? It's hard to put someone in a different category or box. Like you, going back to like our life as agents, like if you have one negative interaction with another agent, that doesn't make them a bad person. It doesn't even make them a bad agent. It
exactly.
just means they had a weird moment or whatever,
That
and
doesn't
wires got
define
crossed.
them as a
It
person.
doesn't define them
Correct.
exactly. Yeah, and I think there's a lot of jumping to conclusions in our
Always.
industry.
Absolutely. I love that you said that too, because I that's one of the things that I'm good at. When I said I love people, because there's always something to love. I literally find something, because I always try to get under the surface. Like, especially doing business, I don't want to just deal with another agent. In our class yesterday, she said, I don't want to be everyone's best friend. I just want to get the, and I'm like, pump the brakes. I
Oh,
want to
I
be
was
everyone's best friend. That was
see,
off
I put
message
my
for
hand up for that.
me. Yes, my whole thing is like, what am I going to discover about this person? Like, people are interesting to me, and I want to know. Like, I've had people very close-lipped and not really give me a lot in a showing, and they're very, and I still just keep talking to them, and I just keep loving on them, and I just keep engaging them like a little kid that like doesn't get that they don't want to talk to me. I don't get that they don't want to talk to me. I won't accept that, because I'm also not going to change who I am for someone else. And I know that there's mirror matching, and I know that you don't want to make people uncomfortable and be like this nut job in front of everyone. You also, yes, want to acclimate into your relationships and conversations, but I push it. I push it. I push that line, because I want to be who I am, and I want to be very comfortable, and I actually want to be friendly with you. I want to have a friendly, positive interaction. And you may be hell bent on, and not you, Rich, but the person I'm dealing with may be hell bent on having a negative interaction with me right now. It's not happening. I'm gonna just continuously put an endless flow of effort and love into chipping away at your attitude or your negativity or whatever issue you have today, and showing you that I'm different, and I'm going to expect a different result. 9 times out of 10, people do relax around me, and they go, "Oh, okay, I can curse now." It's like the biggest one. I can curse now, or like, "Oh, I feel comfortable now." Whatever it is, like, people do come around eventually, because I think they're clenched. Like, I was talking about something else this morning, like just being clenched and holding on, and I got to do this, and I'm worried I got to get this today, and I have to get this today. The stress, like you were talking about, stop, breathe. Right? What was my mantra from yesterday? Breathe, don't resist, and let things unfold as they will unfold. Yeah, calm down, chill out. Everything's going to be fine. You're okay. I'm okay. How do we have fun right now? How do we enjoy each other's presence right now? And I want to enjoy everyone that I come into contact with. I don't want to have any negative interactions ever again. I want to make everyone my friend, and we're all happy. It might be a weird thing, but that's literally my goal. But in my own exploration of life, of the human condition, of spirit, of our connectedness, I feel like I've discovered that kind of that's the point, to be challenged. And you're going to be given only what you can handle. And I feel like our purpose is literally to learn how to navigate these challenges. And some people have many, many, many more challenges than we have. And they are loved, and they are blessed, and they are fighting a good fight, and they're learning through it. And there's pain through things like that. And my heart is with them. I think that's something that is important for me to communicate, is that I literally love people unconditionally. It's a very odd, there's people that piss me off. I'm not saying that I'm perfect in that way. I mean, people really make me angry, and people have hurt me, and I've let people hurt me, but there's people that are facing such great challenges, and the only thing I can take away from that is like, what if they learn, right? What if they get through it, they survive it, whatever, they get past it? They get away from the abuser or whatever the situation is, or they get out of financial hardship. And what did they learn? And what can they do to never put themselves back in that situation, and how can they take control of their lives? And I want people to know that they have infinite power to do that. And I think that's the tough concept is reality feels so dense. It feels so real, and it feels like things are just happening to us. But the concept that we have to really master, which is something I actively work on every day, reading things and exposing myself. I love your face right now too. It's so
No,
good.
I'm listening. That's my pensive face.
Is learning, like, but how can I change, just my circumstances, right? So we look at it like, what are my goals? But I think if you level up from there and you say, how do I have to change my thinking? How do I have to change my belief system? Because if you believe that you're not good enough, then you're constantly going to bring into existence situations that remind you that you're not good enough. It's this whole thing about you really are creating your own reality. And I know Rich is a science guy, so I encourage you to look into those things like this, the quantum physics, and even just how the mind and the brain work, that we're interpreting a grid, we're interpreting a reality all very uniquely. And you have to understand that, like, when people do something to you, right, or something happens to you, you have a choice in how that's going to affect you. You have a choice in what that does next, and a choice in your reaction, and a choice in your reality. And if you don't like it, get away from it. Don't stay there. I think people stay in negativity because we've kind of almost been conditioned by negativity to be, that's where we thrive. Work hard.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if it's not painful, then you're not doing anything. No, you have to see Jess's life. I am all about how can I be super comfortable today and let things happen. The sun is shining, the wind is blowing, and that's as much effort as I need to put in right now. And it doesn't mean I don't work. It doesn't mean I don't put effort towards things that I enjoy, but I don't have to work hard. I don't have to put myself out. I just have to believe that the effort I put in is going to give me the result that I want. And everyone deserves that. Everyone deserves that belief, and everyone deserves exactly what it is they think they deserve. So make sure you tell yourself you deserve something positive.
Yeah.
So that's all the woo-woo. So when Rich goes into his geology, I go into my quantum physics. So actually,
We have our safe spaces. Yeah, your safe space is
yes.
something that mine isn't. That's okay.
No, it's fine, but I will get you there one day. Mark my words. We will be on this podcast, and Rich will be like, "Dude, I watched this guy, and he was talking about the soul." One day we'll get where this piques your interest enough to geek out on it.